Welcome to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Let's Talk Cars Radio is sponsored in part by Napa Car Care Centers, BDG Auto Group, by Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmissions, and American Do-It-Yourself Garage. Be a part of the program today by calling 757-222-3705. That's 757-222-3705. You may text your comments and questions during the show at 757-866-2192. That's 757-866-2192. Email your questions and comments to Dave at letstalkcarsradio.com. Now, here is the host of Let's Talk Cars Radio, Dave Palach.
Happy Saturday, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Big Davey P, hanging out with Rock and Larry Cobb. And, of course, Cameron's doing all of our technical work for us. It is Saturday. The sun is trying to be out as best it can. I see it's kind of sunny, then it goes cloudy, then it goes sunny. But, hey, at least at this point in time, it's not raining. It's the weekend. It's time to kind of hang out, relax, try to soak it all in, and enjoy yourself. How was your guys' week, boys?
Hey, it was just another week in virus land.
In virus land. Cam?
I think the virus is getting to some people.
It's definitely rotting some people's brains, that's for sure. If you look out there.
I'm definitely tired of it, but it can't end soon enough.
I don't think it's anytime soon. I wish it would, so we get back to car shows and some normalcy when it comes to that, because definitely missing some of the car shows. I see little ones popping up here and there, but it's just not what it was, and it's kind of hard to...
Everything will start popping back. You can't keep it down. It's not human nature.
Well, no, it definitely is not human nature. Home Depots and Lowe's, they're definitely packed and
yeah, well, they always have been, haven't they?
No, it's crazy. I mean, it seems like the only thing to do is projects.
Yeah.
So it seems like everybody's definitely getting their honey-do lists done. So those places seem to be just overly packed, like crazy.
Well, they should be happy. Business is good.
It is for some. Now, you guys know, before the show started, I was telling you about this week's shenanigans. So it's one of those things. Cameron's trying to get everything adjusted down. Did you get it?
Yeah, I just need mic 3 down just a little bit.
Cameron's trying to make some adjustments. I see he's giving the fingers. So
turn those knobs.
This week's garage shenanigans. So if you guys had not seen, I don't think Cameron transferred it over. I think I'll get him to try to do that during the commercial break real quick. And we had some updates to the Mega Garage. So Cameron needs to take that video and transfer that video.
I didn't know you had pictures of it. You didn't tell me that part.
Well, you saw the video. I saw you liked the video.
Huh.
You forget?
You mean with the paint?
No, not of the paint, but of the updates that got done this week.
Yeah, that so I saw.
He needs to transfer that over.
I thought you had videos of the paint.
No,
situation.
I haven't got that far. No, I didn't take no. I was too frustrated.
There now.
So if you guys see, there's been some updates to the Mega Garage. There was a video that went out. I think it went out on my personal side, so he'll transfer it over to Let's Talk Cars page. So if you guys want to go check it out, and it's just a quick little video, some of the updates we got going on. I told you guys I'm trying to keep up with some of the videos and show you guys as we move along on that project, because I know a lot of everybody's been following along on that project that we've been doing. But that's
taken quite a while, hasn't it?
It's a big undertaking. It's a big garage.
I mean, how long have you been working on that? What, 2 years?
No. We're only a year into the project.
Is that it?
Yeah, just a year. So anyway, let me tell you guys how. If you guys ever got paint on the garage floor in your life? Okay, so you know how much of a pain it is. You ever get in trouble from your parents getting paint on the garage floor?
It's a pain to get paint on anything where it doesn't belong.
Okay, so we are doing painting in the Mega Garage. So it's a lot of space. If you guys have been following along on the project, you know the Mega Garage is pretty big. So it's essentially a 16-car garage, but with everything that is being done inside of it, it won't hold that many cars inside once all the build-outs and stuff are done. But you could probably put 12 in it, I think, probably once everything's said and done. But we won't probably have that much stuff, those many cars in it, because we'll have working space and stuff. And you guys will see it as some of the videos start to pop up as we start to do product reviews and stuff like that inside there as time goes on. So anyway, we were doing painting, and I have a paint gun. Now, I bought this paint gun a little while back, and I only used it one time, guys. So, I bought it just like all the rest of us hobbyists have. We have paint guns for painting cars and all kinds of stuff. So, I bought it. I felt like, look, I'll paint I'll paint one of the big wall in the garage with it. I'm like, it'll make time go by quicker. So I get this thing out, and I hook it up and go to paint the wall. And it worked. It wouldn't work at first. And I was like, I don't understand. I've only used this thing one time. I can't figure out why this thing won't work. So I mess around with it, and I get it working. So I get everything all set up and get all the connections hooked up to go ahead and paint a wall with it. And I get about 10 minutes of painting, and it stops working. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. So if you guys ever mess with paint guns, they're sometimes they can be finicky. They shouldn't be, but they are. So I have to tear the whole gun down, which takes me like 40 minutes to tear it all down, go through everything, clean everything. So I go everything through the whole process, and I don't see anything wrong with it. I mess around with it, and I get it working again. So I put it all back together and get everything all set back up again, and I go to paint, and it paints for about 10 minutes, and it stops working again. So I take it all back apart again, tear everything back down again, and go through it, the cleaning process. Now, you guys know, like I said, if you haven't used a paint gun or you have, if you haven't, it's a process if things go wrong. You got to take everything back apart again. So I take everything back apart. I look at everything. I play with it. Now, this is another 30-minute process. And then I get it working again. I'm like, okay. So I put everything back together, and I go back to the wall. Now, keep in mind, I got all the paint all out. I'm all ready to be painting. And I go back to painting. And I start spraying, and everything seems to be working okay. And about 10 minutes in, it stops working again. So I'm agitated, I guess is the nicest way to put it. So this happens to me one more time where it stops working. I finally give up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the store. I've had enough. I've only used this the second time ever using this thing. So I take it all apart. I clean it all up nice and neat. I put everything all back in the case, and I'm going to go back to the store. So where I purchased it from. So I take it back, and I'm like, look, I bought this thing from you. I've only used it one time. It isn't working. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I just need to go ahead and get one that works. Well, then we start the runaround game. It's like, well, how long have you had it? And I'm like, look, I got you, and I understand, but I've only used it once. I purchased it on my credit card, I'm purposely not giving the name of where I bought it from if you guys haven't figured it out, because I'm just not going to do that right this second. So anyway, we play the runaround. Anyway, they give me the whole runaround about it, and I'm like, okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm just going to go ahead and buy, because I have all my paint out. So I have all the paint all set up and everything, and we're in the garage, and everything's all set up. So I'm like, I'm just going to buy a completely new machine. Everything all new, brand new. So I buy a brand new machine. I said, I'll worry about this problem with this machine later, because I called the manufacturer, and the manufacturer kind of gave me a little bit of a runaround too while I was at the store, by the way. So I grabbed the whole new machine, because I'm trying to get the Mega Garage set up and done. I have a lot of stuff there. If you guys haven't seen some of the pictures, we got the toolboxes, the new toolboxes in there, the lifts laying in there on the ground, ready to be stand up. The air compressor is there. It needs to be put in place. So there's a lot of stuff a lot of things that need to be done, and we're just getting a little backlogged with the virus and everything. It's just put a lot of things, on hold. So trying to get everything all done and get everything set up has just kind of been a pain in the butt. So, anywho, I buy a brand new machine. We take it back to the garage. It takes about 40 minutes to get everything unboxed, get it all set up, get everything all dialed in with the new gun. So we get everything all set up. I get up to the wall, I hit the thing, I dial the gun in, and boom, we're spraying. Great. We go along, everything's good. I'm like, oh, this is working out great. We're spraying along. I'm probably about 20 minutes into spraying everything, and the gun starts kind of chugging along a little bit. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I got a little bit of clog in it. So I turn it over to the clog setting, blow the clog out, and I hear the gun kind of start, the compressor behind me start kind of chugging. It's chugging along, just building up pressure. And if you guys ever use one, kind of normal. It's not abnormal for it to do it. Well, the rig and everything's behind me, so I'm just kind of doing my thing, and I'm spraying and spraying and spraying, and every once in a while it would chug and it'd spray, and it would chug and it would spray. Well, at a certain point, all of a sudden I realize I lose pressure on the gun a little bit. I'm not getting a really good spray pattern on the gun. And I'm like, what in the world? So I look at the gun, and I'm messing around with the gun, and I kind of turn it over to unclog it, and I kind of give it a little spray at the wall, and I'm messing around with it and stuff. And then I just kind of realize I really don't have a lot of pressure spray on the gun. So I turn around to go back to the machine, and as I turn around, there is all kinds of garage shenanigans going on behind me. The brand new machine that I bought has blown a seal going onto the main line to the gun. And it has, for I don't know how long, been blowing paint all over the garage behind me. The brand new machine I bought has blown a line, and one of the seals in the line has blown, and it has just been spraying paint. And I mean like something you see in a movie, just blowing paint out of the brand new machine. It's a line. So, yeah, that was.
Hey, buddy, looks like you blew a seal.
Yeah. It looked like I blew something. My mind was blown as I turned around and there was paint just squirting out. So I'm trying to run across the garage to get the machine turned off because it's a pressurized line, guys, and so it's trying to pressurize through a line that cannot hold pressure because there's a hole where the seal goes, so it's just blowing paint.
That was one of those days when I wouldn't want to be Dave.
I didn't want to be Dave.
He texted me yesterday, and of course I text him throughout my day and everything, and I knew he was busy in the garage, so I haven't heard from him for a while. And he said something about pushing out the TA, the Trans Am, and I'm like, why didn't you just wrap it? And I didn't get a reply for maybe like an hour and a half while he's going through all of this. He sends me the text, the brand new line blows, with my back to it while I'm painting. Good thing I didn't just try to wrap the TA.
Now, here's the thing. I could have easily wrapped up the Trans Am in plastic, and I had the tractors in there, and I had a bunch of other stuff on that side of the garage. Now, like I said, if you guys seen the pictures of the mega garage, it's big. So there's a lot of space. I could have just wrapped everything. We had this conversation before we came on air. I didn't really need to put everything out of the garage or even move everything in the garage. There was enough space for me to paint. Something in me just said, let me put everything out of the garage and let me move everything to all the way to the far side of the garage. So I took the time, I used the tractor, and I picked everything up that was heavy, and with the bucket like a forklift, and I just moved everything to one side of the garage, and everything else went out of the garage. Kind of glad that I did, because there was like I said, there was no reason for me to. Just something in me just said, I'm just going to move all this stuff right now and just get it out of the way, and I don't know why I did it. Something was looking out for me and just told me to go ahead and do it. And
sometimes those hunches are good.
Man, I tell you. But garage shenanigans, man. Let me tell you, it was the worst case.
Next week will be better than this one.
Well, right this second, I have a half painted. It's not even paint. I was only putting on the primer, so I can't even say paint. I was just putting on the primer at this point, but. I have a half-primered wall right this second.
So percentage-wise, how far are you from having this thing completed?
The whole thing completed?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
3 months.
No.
3 months.
No, it's not 3 months.
So you can start using it for the intent in which you intended.
Weeks.
Oh, you're on the week stage.
Weeks or maybe a month, maybe. If everything goes all right.
That's not so bad.
We could probably be done with it pretty quickly.
I figured you were further off.
No, we still got barn doors to build. There's a back wooden wall that still needs to be done. The lift guy was supposed to get in contact with me this week to get the lift stood up. That didn't happen. I'm not really sure. I kind of got ghosted on that deal, so I got to figure out what's going on. But since I had so many problems going on with the painting in there, it's probably a good thing that the lift guy ghosted me. So. Yeah, I mean we're getting there.
I was thinking maybe you might be 6-7 months away still.
No. So the intent of the Mega Garage, guys, is so that we can get some of the project cars up and in the garage and get them going, and you guys can have content and stuff, and you guys can see it. So the idea is, we have the radio show that's, that goes on Saturdays and stuff like that. But, there's a lot of people who are like, hey, so what's going on with this project? What's going on? Because you guys hear us talk about it on the radio and stuff. And people truly want to see what's going on when we're not on the air, live and stuff. So the idea is to go ahead and start running the cameras and stuff inside the studio, so you guys kind of see some of the projects that we talk about away from the show, so you guys can follow along. So that's the idea. Obviously, when I'm feeling good, or and Cameron has time and stuff like that we can run some videos and stuff of what's going on, so you guys can follow along. A little bit more on the personal side of our lives and stuff as we build these project cars and stuff. And everybody likes to see what's going on. I get a lot of questions. People ask a lot of things. What's going on when we're not sitting here behind the mics? So the intent there is just so you guys can follow along as we build some of these project cars. So.
I do have more questions about the garage, especially about your other thing that you were just talking about, your update.
Yeah. Look, I got to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'll let Cameron grill me a little bit, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
Take vitamins, exercise, ease up on the coffee. Sound familiar from your last visit to the doctor? Well, your Napa Auto Care Center knows preventive maintenance too. By grouping together services your vehicle needs, customized for the way you drive, they can save you time, money, and hassles. Prevent troubles down the road and give you confidence when you travel. Ask your Napa Auto Care Center to build a preventive maintenance plan for your vehicle today.
Hey guys, check everything your Napa Auto Care Center has to offer at NapaBDGHRVA.com. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Their commitment to excellence will leave you coming back for more. So check them out at NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Palach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cotman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949. Residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons, Incorporated. Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. Hey, let's not forget about WNTW 820 out in Richmond. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the show. So, let's jump back in it. So, Cameron asked me a question. If you guys check out the video on one of the upgrades, when you hit the garage door openers, the automatic door openers, and you open it up, the lights automatically kick on and flicker. You'll see them kind of come on and they go in stages. And then when you hit them, they turn off in stages. He's like, is that an effect that automatically happens, or is that effect that you created for the video? And the answer is two-part. Yes, that's something that can be done when you open up the garage doors, but it's something that was added for the video. So it's two-part. Yes, we had to make it happen for the video, but yes, it's something that it does automatically do. So it's two-part. So if you check out the video, you'll see what we're talking about. But it's We bought the really nice openers for
cool lights
for the garage. Yeah. No, the lights, they're daytime lights. So if you guys check out the video when the garage opens up, it looks like it's daylight inside the garage. And I did a little research when we were looking for the lighting system for inside the mega garage, and they were the number one rated lights for inside a garage across the board. 100% recommended by everybody. And I researched for like 3 weeks before I bought those lights.
I like how the way he has them set up, too, is, let's say you're working in the back and you don't want the front lights on, shining through the whole front of the garage. You can just turn on the back row, and it lights up the back.
Oh, it's bright.
It's bright.
We haven't set up in stages. So you know how most people, you just turn on your garage light and your garage light comes on?
That would be me.
Okay, so we have them set up in stages. So we have them where it's 3 stages. Since the garage is so big, we set them up where they turn on in stages inside the garage. So if you're at the back workbenches, they're going to go across the back. You just have the back lights on that will light up the whole workbench area. So the front 2 sections of the garage would be dark, essentially. And they're not dark because the back lights are bright enough. The lights does kind of light up the whole garage, but you wouldn't have those front lights on. That way you're not wasting power. And everything in there's LED that way I'm not running a whole lot of power.
Yeah, plus it's good for heat.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a lot of thought was put into when we started putting this project together. We didn't just kind of willy-nilly it. We really thought about it a lot.
I know.
You know how I do.
I know.
I overthink everything and then think about it again.
That's not so bad. You're going to end up with exactly what you want, and that's what
that's what we're trying to get to.
The goal is.
The end goal is stuff like that. So, moving on. I have a subject we've been going around and around again, and Steve had called in and asked about this. So you remember the lease conversation we had? And Steve asked me a bunch of different questions about people getting stuck with leases, and I told him that I looked into it, and I found some answers, but didn't find all of them. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it has come back around, so hopefully Steve is listening because I have some answers for him. So here was the problem. So with the coronavirus being out there, lease terms were coming to an end, and Steve had called in and said that he had heard that people are getting stuck with their leases and couldn't turn them in. Dealerships weren't taking them back. They were just like, we're not taking these leases back. You're just kind of stuck with it. And what was being done about that? And there was a lot of unanswered questions. So we had spent some time here on the show trying to call and get some answers. And I got some answers, and then I got some open-ended, I guess, answers. Questions that just weren't answered. I mean, there was no answers for them. So I did a lot of different calling out to friends and stuff like that, and people looked into it. And then I seen a lot of articles pop up with no answers either and stuff like that. So, Steve, here are some of the answers I got that have popped up, and I saw another big article come out this week as well. So, some of the answers that I was given were some of the manufacturers were waiving the fees. So if you couldn't get the car back, and they weren't taking the car back right that second for whatever it was, rather it be social distancing laws or anything like that, that people were keeping the cars and they were not being charged the lease payment. So they still had the car and they could still use the car. So it's not like the car had to sit. The car could still be used, and they were going to waive the lease payment since the manufacturer was not able to take the car back for whatever the reasons were, that they were going to waive it. Now, that wasn't every single manufacturer, and the information I was given was they needed to check. Obviously, whether they had Volkswagen, they had Toyota, Ford, Chevy, whoever it was, they needed to check with that manufacturer. Okay? Well, then it got a little bit more serious because it didn't apply to everybody, apparently. So it's kind of seemed to be like just happenstance. Rather, you fell into those cracks or you didn't. So there wasn't an across-the-board answer for everybody. So people were starting to get upset, and that'd be kind of understandable. Let's just say that you leased a car, and you have it, and Steve's point was, you're stuck with it. No, we're not taking it back. Have a nice day kind of situation.
They would have to take it back at some point in time, would they not?
At some point in time. But there was seriously just dealerships who were just washing their hands and going, we're not taking it.
I would have thought it's okay if you don't want to take it back, but I don't want to encumber any more financial responsibility.
They were finding every reason. There was a lot of stories that have been popping up all over the place that you were just being stuck. We're not taking it back, and you're still going to pay for it situations.
Well, you got a contract.
You do, but they were not obligating the contract. That was the problem. That's what Steve was trying to shine a light on when he called. He was like, look, here's some of the stories that he was hearing as well, or things that I think he'd read about, where people just had leases and they were just stuck with them, and they were still being forced to pay and still being, forced to honor a contract that had now been, it was in void. You know what I mean?
Well, it was
contract
completed.
It was a complete contract.
Completed.
But they, look, we have no way to take the car back, or we're not going to take the car back. You're just going to have to hang on to it, and yes, you're still going to have to pay for it while it's in your possession kind of situations. This has been happening all over the place. There's stories of this were popping up.
I don't like that, because if you fulfill the lease, you shouldn't owe any more money.
That's right. But what happens is you still have the car in your possession.
But it's the dealers or whoever initiated the lease. It's their responsibility.
Dealerships closed. So let's say dealerships closed. No way to take the car back. You're still driving it on a daily basis.
It doesn't relieve them of the responsibility.
I got you. I'm right there with you. Not arguing that point with you whatsoever. But if you still have the car in your possession, dealerships closed, you still have to drive it on a daily basis because it's your main transportation.
It means through no fault of your own, once again, you're going to be in a position where you have to legally extricate yourself from it at your expense and your time.
That's right. But you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
That would be, and that, yes, you're stuck.
You're stuck. So, and that's how they had you, because they're not open. No way to take it back. There's not. Our leasing department is not in the position at this point in time or staffed to process that car to take it back. That was the answers that was given to a lot of people. So you now have the car. Your contract's up. You now have the car, and now you return back to your home. It's your only transportation because you have no way to turn it in and or buy another car, get another lease car, whatever it may be, whatever your situation is going to be. It's your main transportation. You still got to go grocery shop and go to work, whatever it may be with that car. So you are now stuck with it. So you are now putting miles on the car. So you're still going to make the payments in a car that you don't want anymore. So you're just stuck.
It stinks.
Okay. Well, let's move forward. Okay. The attorney generals for 11 states have now gotten involved. And they've all signed off on it to get involved with all these different manufacturers because of all the complaints that have come in where people have been stuck with these cars.
Okay, and what are they going to do?
They're going to injunction. They're forcing them. They're going to take these cars back, and they're going to make these situations right with these people.
I'm glad to hear that.
Because they have been, as Steve had pointed out, and then we have done our research and looked into, these people have been put in a bad situation and stuck. You've encroached upon their civil liberties by forcing them to be stuck with these cars. That's not their problem. I understand there's a pandemic out there, but this is not their problem. Their contract was done with you, regardless of what the situation is. Their contract was done.
I agree. It stinks.
Yeah, it does. So, to give you guys a little bit of closure on this, because we've been trying to follow this it's been 4 months, I think, since
this whole thing started.
Yes, when Steve brought it up. That is the end result of it, and I think you're going to see a lot more attorney generals sign on to it. But so far, 11 states have signed up, and they've gotten involved. And so many complaints have come in that so many manufacturers have been involved with this. It's not just one manufacturer. A lot of manufacturers have just went, well, I don't know what to tell you. You just got to keep the car, and we'll get with you whenever.
Hey, were these dealerships? I'm assuming that I've never leased a car, but I'm assuming you would lease a car from a dealership, correct?
Well, yes, it's free. It is. Well, it's through the manufacturer program with the dealers involved.
Were not all these dealers open during? They were considered essential business.
Not all of them were, but most of them. There was a lot of them that were open
and selling product.
That's right. But taking the car back, we talked about this. That's you take.
It was the same reason why people were going to the dealerships and buying cars.
If it was normal times and they took the car back, what happens?
Well, it's just a process. But now you're going to have all this inventory that's coming back to you.
What do they do with this inventory under normal times?
Well, then it's now another car that has to be flipped, cleaned, turned, sold, all that kind of stuff. It's just another car. There's money involved. You're not trying to take money back.
I would just think they would have a place where they could park these cars until they're able to deal with it.
Yeah, it's not. It's a process. Nobody's trying to take a bunch of cars back and deal with all that issue right this second when they're trying to move cars as it already is. There's just a lot of stuff that goes on with that.
I'll bet these cars now start flooding the market.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, there are going to be a bunch of them that are going to be out there because there's a lot of lease terms that are coming up.
Well, look at all those cars that Hertz owns.
Yeah, I
cannot
even imagine where all those cars are.
Did you see that they listed, 6 brand new Corvette Z06s on the site because nobody's renting them out, and they're trying to sell them now.
Well, they want for it.
No, there's going to be a flood of that. We were talking about that the other day. These rental car places are going to have to start, that's going to be a lot of cars are going to hit the market. They're going to have to go.
I would think so.
Yeah, definitely are. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, but yeah. So I hope anybody was following us on this story and stuff, they kind of have an answer. And if you have one of those lease cars and you've been stuck with it, now's the time to perk your ears up because they're getting involved, guys. They really are. Hey, guys, on that note, I got to take another quick commercial break. Hey, when we come back, we were talking about delays in vehicles. If you guys were following those stories, I got some answers for you, and I'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
Hey guys, Dave Palach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cotman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Something really cool happened in 1975. And no, it wasn't the beginning of the disco era. Congress passed the Magnuson-Moss Act, so you don't have to take your vehicle back to your dealer to keep your vehicle manufacturer's warranty in effect. Our Napa Auto Care Center uses the proper replacement parts and procedures to keep that warranty valid. Visit our independently owned Napa Auto Care Center today.
Hey guys, you asked for it and I delivered. Check out our all-star team of automotive specialists at NapaBDGHRVA.com. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon.
Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow and Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949. Residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow and Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated. Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. Hey, so when we were at commercial break, Steve called in. What's going on, Steve?
Hey, Dave. Hey, Cameron. Hey, Larry. Hey, thanks for following up on that, but also thanks for posting the update on your mega garage. But I just want to give you one warning. Like 99% of other Americans' garages, be very careful in the next few years that you don't wind up having to park those cars outside because you got too much junk piled inside.
No. See, we built it the size we did, so we would never have that problem. If you happen to look to the left, all of that on the left is built for hidden storage. That's what the whole left side is for.
Okay, great. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for, following up. I know time goes by and you've got all these other things going on, but, like Pitbull hanging on to this story, which, by the way, since we talked about it, months ago, I actually saw an interview with a lady, and I forget her name, but she had worked with the Federal Reserve. She's an economist. She's, and one of the things she was saying was look out for the auto loan bubble also.
Yeah, I tell you, that's one of the ones I'm hanging on. I've been hanging on to that story for what seems like almost 3 years now because I just know it's coming. I know it is. Yeah. I've been following it. You've listened to the show a long time. There's stories that I follow and I hang on to, and I constantly just watch them. And so when you start talking about leases, I just been kind of just asking around and watching this story because I just know it's something that's there. It's hanging out there. So.
Well, one of the most, egregious of all the lease horror stories that had started this whole thing was, remember, it had to do with Kia.
Yeah.
And it was that they told the lady, you cannot return your lease unless you lease a car we have on the lot because we don't have any space to park your lease you want to turn in. You have to take one of the cars that's sitting here in order for you to be able to get rid of the one. And it's like, that's one of the things that made it so disgusting was it's like you're forcing somebody to buy, to lease something, to get into another contract for something they probably don't even want a Kia now this time, or
oh yeah,
they may not even want a car because a lot of people are realizing, with the whole coronavirus thing and working from home and stuff, it's like we don't need to be a 2 or 3 car family anymore. So it's like they want to get rid of the lease. And this case was, well, yeah, but you still have to take another lease in order for us to cancel the one you have. And so that's what, made that whole thing, so disgusting. And the fact that even, Kia Corporate couldn't get that solved because I think the dealership, when they were called by Kia Corporate, according to the story, the dealership hung up on them.
Yeah,
it may have been they didn't believe that it was really Kia Corporate calling them. But
oh, yeah, we went 6 months. 6 months with one less vehicle in our fleet. So we learned that, we could have one less vehicle ourselves.
Yeah. Well, if you remember, one of my solutions for the whole, lease problem was to put them all in that overflow parking lot at the airport down in Florida.
Yeah.
that brush fire.
Yeah. That would have took care of, well, as you can see, that didn't work out too well for them anyway. Now
right,
that Hertz went bankrupt. So.
Yeah, that's so sad. Been around for so long, and of course they have Thrifty and Dollar also.
Well, if you remember, we went with to the Hertz out to their big facility in Vegas, and they gave us one of the Hertz Mustangs out there to do a product review on it when they did the big Hertz Mustang reveal. We joined them and we're out there for it. If you remember, the Hertz had their big souped-up Mustang back, in the 60s. And when they did the relaunch of it for the anniversary edition, we flew out to Vegas. And
that show is vaguely, it's coming back to me.
Yeah, we flew out to Vegas, and they gave us
3 years ago, or
about 3 years ago or so, and we teamed up with Hertz, and they gave us one of the Mustangs to do a product review on it. We were the first ones to have it. Nobody, we snaked that story on everybody and got them to give us that card to do a product review on it. So that was about 3 years ago back. So great people. They worked really hard with us to be able to get our hands on that car. So kind of sad.
But once again, I just want to thank you, for being, the kind of person who is not going to let something go, and also having, your ear to the ground when something else is popping up on the horizon that you put 2 and 2 together and you're making the connections and getting this information out for the listeners. And so it's one of the reasons why I continue to listen to you.
I appreciate it, buddy.
I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
Have a wonderful day.
I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
So it's kind of funny, we were talking about things that had to do with, dealerships and guys. I have a story for you guys that will blow your mind. So, it's kind of funny. He was talking about, trading cars off at the dealership and they don't have any room for anything. So you don't have room for anything. And this story will get you.
They make car carriers.
They do make car carriers. And apparently they make tow trucks, too. And that's where this story comes in. So imagine taking your car to the dealership during the virus, right, for service.
Okay.
So, coronavirus breaks out. You take your car to the dealership and you drop it off, and just for general service, let's just say oil change, tire rotation, and some other just regular general service, right?
Okay.
And the virus breaks out.
I got a question.
Okay.
Does the car have to come in with a mask too?
No.
No, okay.
Okay. So you drop it off, right?
Smarty.
All right. So your car comes in, right? Just general service. And what you think shouldn't take too long for all your general. Maybe an overnight stay for if it had
worst case scenario.
Yeah,
overnight.
right. You drop it off, you pick it up the next day, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this drags on because the virus breaks out, and in dealerships all of a sudden, we got closed down. We're social distancing, and all of a sudden, we've been ordered to close. Right.
Which means we got 10 more days to do that oil change. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, something like that. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of trying to set the scenario for you guys so you guys kind of understand, right? Well, then another day goes by, and another days goes by, and your car's just went in for general service,
and you haven't heard anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And your car's stuck at the dealership, right?
Okay. I would be getting unhappy.
Right. So would I.
Yeah,
that would be a natural reaction. You just want to...
Because usually on the first day when you drop a car off, I mean, anytime I've ever dropped a car off, I at least want to hear something on the first day. Did you at least get to look at it?
Look, so we've had this conversation 1,000 times. I don't care if you take a car to the dealership, if you take it to a regular auto repair shop, communication is key.
Yep.
Keep the customer in the loop, what's going on with the car. That's the
I don't
biggest
care
thing.
how long you have my car for, as long as I know what's going on.
Well, you do. Let's back up. You do care.
I do care.
But you want to be kept in the loop what's going on.
Kept in the loop.
Just let me know what's going on so I know what to expect. Auto garages that listen to the show, I know there's a bunch of you guys. You guys heard me say this. Call your customer. Keep them in the loop. It's just part of it. Don't overcall them though, because I've been on that side.
Yeah,
and I've had that argument too many times where I'm like, I'm not, earlier, I'm not going to call them a million times. You used to always have managers be like, "Did you call him? Yes, I called him, but I just called him 20 minutes ago. I just called him an hour ago. I'm not going to call him again and tell him the same thing. I don't have any new information." So you don't want to overcall him, but you want to at least make sure you keep him in the loop. Okay, so keep that in mind. But anyway, so another day goes by. They still have your car, and it's like, but they're closed because of the virus. Okay, so that's the cover is they're closed because of the virus. So you're kind of stuck. Well, they're not open, and there's nobody around, and your car's stuck there. And you just took it in for some general services. And your car's stuck there, and they're not open again, and they're not open again, and this keeps on going on, and they have your car. Could you imagine?
Yeah. I was under the impression they were considered essential business, and I didn't think
for a lot of dealerships they are, but for this particular story,
I didn't think
they're closed because of the virus.
Okay. But that was probably a voluntary closure.
So now, I guess, so now you start, some time's going by, you start poking around the dealership because, like, look, if your car's outside, you got a spare key, whatever it is, you're just going to, you need your car.
Yeah, you're going to go get it.
Right. Well, you can't find your car on the property anywhere. In fact, you start to notice that there's really not any cars on the property.
And you're looking through the windows.
Right. And all the cars have seemingly just disappeared.
And if they're not open, and if you went there like 3 different times.
Right. They're not open, and now all the cars have seemed to just disappear off the lot. And we're not talking about this is like a used car dealership. This is a national brand. Like, this is like a Nissan dealership.
Right, so you got alarms going off at this point. If the inventory is gone and your car is part of it.
Correct.
So what do you do?
So you do some tracking down. You come to find out this dealership's closed during the virus. Your car has been towed and impounded at an impound lot. Okay, so you found your car. Your car is now at an impound lot.
And you had to do this on your own. They didn't tell you anything, correct?
From what I understand, you've just found your car. It has been towed. It is at an impound lot. I don't know how they found out where it is, but you have now found your car. It has been ordered to be towed off the property, apparently by the dealership had ordered these cars to be towed off the lot, and they've been towed to an impound lot. The business, I guess the business has gone out of business. The cars, whatever, been impounded and put it in during the coronavirus. Have been impounded and put it at an impound lot. So you contact the impound lot, and the impound lot has informed you that
they're closed.
No, that they're open.
It's going to cost you something.
But your car has now sat there for X amount of days,
and you owe
it's
storage.
$6,000 in storage, cash, if you want your car back. And by the way, your car is being put up for auction here shortly, so you better act fast.
Wow. I would have a stroke if that were me. I think I would be so angry that
My first thing would be, all right, I see what's going on here. I mean, $6,000.
The only thing you've done was drop your car car off at a dealership for service, and now you have a tow company telling you they want $6,000 cashed for you to get your car back because it's been sitting there in storage.
Good Lord, how long did it sit there to rack up $6,000?
During the coronavirus.
I mean, the whole thing, for 60 days or something?
I guess, yeah. I mean,
anybody else realizing he's saying Conora?
Conora, whatever. It is Conora, isn't it?
No, think beer.
I don't know. Coronavirus.
Hey, no.
Coronavirus.
No. Don't do that.
What?
Coronavirus.
Corona.
Coronavirus.
I say Corona. Corona.
Has been shooting
you can
back
correct me.
already
It's okay.
with that.
But here's the thing.
We're not allowed to talk about that beer company.
But you understand what I'm saying. So that's where you're at with it. Could you? I mean, so apparently,
I wouldn't know where to begin to alleviate that. I wouldn't even know where to start.
That's where these people are at. They had to get.
So what did they have to do?
They had to get corporate. The dealer. They had to get the automotive corporate involved. These people surrendered their rights to be that manufacturer's representative. They no longer represent that manufacturer.
Yeah.
And now they're just, I don't know what they sell at that dealership anymore.
But their car is still sitting on the lot, or did they get them back?
No, that manufacturer ended up being a Nissan dealership. They no longer are a Nissan dealership. Nissan corporate got involved and paid anything that needed to be paid out to get the cars back out of, because there was 11 customers that this happened to.
At least they did the right thing.
The cars were in there for just service, just general service. This dealership had their cars towed and impounded.
And didn't call nothing.
Yeah, they say they didn't. These customers said they never received telephone calls or anything else like that.
Well, at the least, that's tacky.
Yeah, so they surrendered their rights to be a Nissan dealership,
as they should.
Yeah, and they are no longer associated with Nissan and everything like that. But I mean, could you imagine? I just want an oil change, a transmission flush, and a tire rotation.
Yeah, and it turns into a nightmare.
Yeah, it turns
Everybody
into a nightmare.
wants one of those.
Yeah. True story, guys. One of the listeners sent me this story over, and I was just like, wow.
Where was that, Dave? Did it tell you the date?
No, I didn't. A lot of times when a listener sends me stories over, sometimes they just give me clip an article or something like that, and I'll breeze through it. Yeah. Sometimes it has where
I'm always curious where that is. I'm just as a matter of curiosity. I wonder where that took place.
I'm sure Cameron can find it. We got to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, guys, got a couple other things for you guys. You guys hold tight. I'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA. Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949. Residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons, Incorporated.
There's something special about Napa Auto Care Centers. They're backed by the national strength of Napa. Nationwide warranties honored by thousands of locations. You know, that's Napa know-how. But more importantly, your Napa Auto Care Center is independently owned and operated by neighborhood professionals who operate by a written code of ethics. Put your vehicle in the hands of ASE-certified technicians who will greet you with a smile you can trust. Visit us today.
You heard me say it, and now here's your chance. Now's the time to go find your auto garage. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to NapaBDGHRVA.com and find your all-star car care center today. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Palach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cotman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm telling you, sometimes the commercial breaks.
Not too much in here.
It's commercial breaks sometimes are just a little bit more than one can handle.
I was shocked by the commercial break, It was just such a shocking.
I'm telling you. Hey, so I got a little flashback for you guys. You guys ready? Flashback. So I've been telling you guys forever to do this, but apparently this is going to become, and I'm not going to use the term because everybody's using it, but the new...
Oh, no, I ain't using that word, but I know what it is.
So here's the thing. I have been suggesting, you see you're out of the loop. You don't know. He knows what it is because I saw him post something about it a couple days ago, and he was like, if one more person uses that term.
Yep.
So that's the reason why I threw it in there.
That was your motive, huh?
Yeah, that was my motive. I had a motive. I had a hidden motive.
You said he posted something?
Yeah, he did. He's going to go look for it.
Yeah, I am.
So I have kind of tried to invoke you guys to do this for years, listening to this show. And I've told you, what is the best vacation that you could do with your kids? Do you remember?
Disney?
No. Well, you know I like Disney, but that's besides the point.
The best vacation with
I've
your
said,
kids.
what should you do if you want to take one of the best vacations and spend some time with your kids? What should you do for a vacation?
I don't know. I figured it doesn't matter as long as you're all together. And
Well,
having a
you know
good
I
time.
believe that because you know I'm a family man. But that's,
indeed.
No,
I don't recall what you mean. So like a vacation activity or destination?
Vacation activity that you should do with your family. I said
car shows.
Well, no, not that's a weekend thing. I'm talking like a vacation.
All right, you tearing me up. I forget. I don't know.
Pack them up in the car and take them on a road trip.
Right. Okay.
So apparently, I was just a little bit ahead of my time because the new thing is going to be, because of social distancing, there is like a 20% increase right this second on that now being
a road trip.
The idea. Because of social distancing, because you can't really fly, you can't vacation, you can't travel, you can't do anything right this second, that they say that this year that is going to be what is the big thing this year. They say that motorhomes are like out of this world, are been over rented. You can't find RV rentals right this second because they're all booked. Because people are, that's what they're going to do. They're going to go road trip this year, and they're going to go see all the crazy roadside attractions and sights and everything. They're just going to hit the road and go, and that's what they're going to do for family vacations this year. So all this advice I've been giving you guys for all these years, I was just a little bit ahead of my time, apparently.
But that would be a good activity to do anytime.
But now people are going to do it because instead of going to, we do it the same thing, so I can't, I'm not going to point fingers. We enjoy traveling, and going to the Caribbean and stuff like that.
If you're going to Disney now, you're going to wear a mask the whole time.
Well, you're not going to go to Disney and stuff. People just aren't going to do it. Instead of doing that, they're going to go road tripping. And they're going to go see these roadside attractions. They're going to go to these national parks, and they're going to go do that instead because that's just easier to go do than go do the other stuff that people would normally go do.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it. I have been telling people for years and years, pack your kids up in the car. Bring some duct tape with you if you have to. I mean, because you're
duct tape?
Well, for the mouse and stuff, Because packing your kids up in the car for 16 hours on the road a day sometimes is, it might be a little much. But
Are we there yet?
Yeah, right. Are we there yet? We're there yet?
I went through those times.
Yeah. Oh, I have gone through those times with the boys in the back seat.
So I just have to show you this because you know how I was trying to figure out what you guys were talking about through Larry's Facebook thing. It's two dogs with
Licking through the kiss mask.
kiss mask.
Yeah. I think I
didn't see
posted
that
one of those.
I
You
didn't see
did.
but I
Where did you
didn't see
find
it. I never saw you post that. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't see that.
That's
one.
kind of funny looking. Yeah,
that's funny.
Mask with the tongue,
I
dog
didn't see you
tongues
post that
going
one.
through it.
I don't know how I missed that. I usually see most of the stuff you post, but I didn't see that one.
I posted more than I don't usually do very much, but here lately I have.
But no, man, I'm telling you, road trips. Plan one, guys. Take your kids. Sit down with a map and pick some of the craziest roadside attractions. And if you don't want to go far, don't go far. But if you want to venture out a little bit farther away from home, plan it out. Pick what road you guys are going to take.
Yeah, the world's largest ball of twine is in Missouri, isn't it?
I think that is where it is.
I think that's where it is.
I think it is. Go see the Paul Bunyan statue. I can't remember where that one is, but I've seen that one. He's the big, tall Paul Bunyan.
That's up there in North Dakota, I think.
I've seen it.
I can't think of the name of the town.
I can't remember what year I saw it, but I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've stopped.
There's a town up there, and I can't think of the name of the town, but there's.
I've done biggest ball of twine. I've seen that one. I've seen the Paul Bunyan. I've seen the mashed potato sculpture. I can't remember what town I saw that in. I've seen a lot of weird ones over the years.
Yeah,
but and I know these might seem hokey because they are. Trust me, they are hokey. But they're cool. I mean, like...
They're cool if you don't have to drive too far to go see them.
If you've never stopped, like, in Barstow or, in some of the weird places like in Cali, like Barstow is the one that has the train, the big McDonald's train and stuff in California. Yeah. And you ever stopped into that gift shop and stuff? I mean, obviously you need to stop if you've never made that stop. I think almost anybody who's took that stretch of road has made that stop. But the gift shop, and they sell, like, it used to be... I think they used to dub it the world's biggest jawbreaker, and you could buy it. And it was, jawbreaker,
yeah,
but you get the world's biggest jawbreaker. And I bought one a couple different times in my life. But
what would be great is to get an RV and go on Route 66.
Well, see, so I wanted to rent an RV. I've talked about it. I want to do probably a month. It's probably what it is. Take like a month. And I want to do all the little roadside attractions, but then
say rent or buy?
Rent. I said rent. I didn't say buy because I don't think I want to buy an RV because I don't want to store it. That's the only reason why I won't buy an RV.
You don't want to maintain it. You don't want to pay taxes.
Nope.
You just want to use it.
I just want to use it, and I don't want to store it. I don't want it parked at the house. I don't want that eyesore. My dad does campers, so he's got the tow behind campers and stuff, and he upgraded a camper years ago, and he asked me if I wanted the old camper, and I kind of wanted it just so I could carry it to the races, up to the racetracks, and camp out at the racetrack. But when it got right down to it, I don't want to store it.
Yeah.
I don't want the eyesore at the house. I just don't want it. I don't want it on the side of the house. I don't want, you know what I mean? I just don't want the eyesore.
Well, you could hide it in a mega garage.
No, because everybody keeps on trying to get me to put more stuff in there. The only thing that's going in that thing is beautiful cars and stuff, or project cars I'm working on. That's it. I don't want the eyesore at the house. I just don't want it. Even with having all the property, even if I took it and put it on the far back part of the acres and set it up and built a nice little deck for it to sit around when I'm not using it and stuff like that, made it look nice. It's still, I don't.
I understand renting's the way to go, no doubt about it, especially with a big RV.
I mean, if I had a big RV or something like that, or a camper or something like that, I probably would have to store it off-site, maybe somewhere, and, at a park or something like that.
It costs too much to
I'd
own.
build
The
something
taxes.
off the back of the garage.
I don't know.
Like
something. I don't want to see it. I'd had to put it where I wouldn't have to stare at it. Is where it would have to be. That's just it would have to be what it is.
Tarp.
No, I can't do a tarp. I couldn't do a tarp. I'm too petty for a tarp. I can't do that. I'll admit it. I know my weaknesses, guys. I don't like things hanging around. I like cleanliness. I like things put away and in places. That's the reason why the Mega Garage has all those hidden cabinets that are going in there in those sides, so everything will be put away and you won't see anything. Because I don't like clutter. Transmissions
in this drawer and engines in this one.
Don't mess with him. He has 2 transmissions sitting in the garage.
I do. Yeah, and there's going to be a place for those so you don't see them. I'll probably have like some kind of like metal cabinet or something like that they sit inside so you can open up and get to them if you need them. Yeah. I'm working on it, guys.
Just got a transmission laying in the garage.
Look, I
saw that red storage.
Look, I have you know why it's red?
Why?
So when you pull into the garage, you don't miss it and accidentally hit it with a car or something like that. That's the reason why that wall's red.
You could always hang ping pong balls on strings.
Oh, God, no, that's tacky. I ain't doing it. On that note, guys, it is time. We got to go ahead and get out of here. Like I said, it's Saturday. It's still staying sunny. It looks like some of the clouds have rolled through, so hopefully it stays nice out there for you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Sunday is right around the corner. As I tell you guys all the time, enjoy your Sunday. Turn off the TV. Spend some time with your kids. Pull out a board game. Pull out a puzzle. Do something. Build a model car with them. They'll love you for it. And we'll talk to you soon. We're out of here.